Africa is indeed a continent marked by rich diversity and significant resources. It has increasingly become a platform for rapid economic progress and transformation. This dynamic change is driven by various factors, including abundant natural resources, a growing young population, and increasing technological adoption. In 2024, Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, Algeria, and Morocco have already secured the current largest economies in Africa. Nigeria is estimated to be the third largest economy in Africa in terms of economic output, followed by Egypt, which is expected to be the second largest. South Africa is regarded as the largest economy in Africa according to the latest World Economic Outlook forecast by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. In this video, we will find out what makes these countries the biggest economies in Africa by 2024, exploring the crucial factors. These economies, with their specific economic forms, strong geographic positions, and solid populations, are in the leading place among African countries in terms of the capacity of production and economic development. Egypt, which is an economy with many segments, occupies a notably expedient position in the region. The economy of the country feeds from a wide range of sectors that have included agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and services. It should be noted that agriculture used to be the main pillar of the economy, having provided jobs to many people and also being the raw materials for some industries. The most notable is the manufacturing sector, which includes clothing and food. Furthermore, Egypt's geographic location, as well as its cultural and historical assets, secure the position of tourism as a significant part of its GDP. Additionally, Egypt's strategic geographical position, having the Suez Canal, a significant international maritime passage connecting the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea, significantly boosts its economic significance. The canal not only creates considerable profits from the tolls, but also places Egypt among the most significant countries in the world in the domains of international trade and logistics. Let's not forget to include public and private sector funds. The massive increase both in public and private investments aimed at implementing modern infrastructure and improving the industrial sector has finally paid off. Mega projects, for example, the creation of the new administrative capital and improvements in transport networks, manifest this whereabouts. The government has launched FDI attractions by way of reforms and facilities which has significantly contributed to economic development. Furthermore, in 2016, Egypt started taking a series of economic reforms strictly with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Such reforms comprised appreciating the currency to intensify the competitiveness of exports, lessening the subsidies to shrink government spending, and imposing value-added tax. These measures have resulted in financial stability and approval by the international market players. Moreover, countries like Egypt are setting the pace of being a significant energy centre, especially in the areas of natural gas and renewable energy. The bottom-up of significant gas fields, including the Zohr field in the Mediterranean, have provided Egypt with gas exports. Moreover, the government invests in renewable energy schemes to effectively use the widely available solar and wind power. The contribution of the labour force in Egypt is increasing due to the fact that it's one of the largest and most potential markets in Africa for the workforce. Implementing job training and educational programs that enhance the social skills of the workforce is a crucial approach to capitalising on this demographic asset. In addition, Egypt acts as a hub in regional politics in Africa and the Arab region and contributes widely to economic policies. The leadership it displays in institutions such as the African Union and the Arab League also make it a strong agent for influencing regional economic policies and programs. These factors collectively give Egypt economic size and potential for continued development, making it one of the major economies in Africa as of 2024. Moving on to South Africa, which is quite rich in resources. Despite the country facing economic challenges in 2024, it has become one of the largest economies in Africa. But how? South Africans are usually branded the Rainbow Nation because, fortunately, they have an abundance of mineral resources that have been influencing their economy. In 2024, South Africa still is an essential mining country for platinum, gold, and chromium, which are quite major outputs. Nevertheless, the government is faced with perennial economic problems, topped by high rates of unemployment, energy shortages, and social disparities. South Africa has made huge progress in terms of a diversified economy. Sectors such as transportation, machinery, and equipment are among the booming fields. The country's emphasis is clearly seen in putting effort into promoting education and technology implementation through projects aimed at developing skills and entrepreneurial activities. Another of the largest economies in Africa this year is a giant fueled by oil, with a record of trying diversification strategies. Yes, we are talking about Nigeria. As of 2024, Nigeria has remained Africa's fourth largest economy, mainly because of the various sectors driving its diverse economic activities. The country is one of the top oil producers, with this industry constituting the backbone of its economy, though other sectors are coming to the limelight due to the global shift away from fossil fuels towards renewables. Agriculture, of course, is another area of focus, from feeding the nation to exporting products like rubber and cocoa. Additionally, the growth of telecommunications picked up speed, stimulated by higher numbers of mobile devices and internet users. Besides, Nigeria benefits from its economy since its large and younger population provides a healthy workforce and market for all products and services. Nigeria constantly draws in foreign capital and is focused on diversifying the economy to sustain an effective economic position in Africa. Now, let's talk about Algeria. It is predicted that Algeria will be the third largest economy in Africa by 2024, coming right after Egypt, with its expected GDP representing $266 billion. This growth can be attributed to Algeria effectively leveraging its substantial oil and gas reserves, sectors that are crucial to the country's economy. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic and the world economic situation heading south, Algeria's economy has been an exception to prove the rule. However, Algeria follows the rule of building its future economy in manufacturing, agriculture, and services, all at the expense of oil and gas prices. As is the case, the efforts are beginning to yield results, and nowadays, these non-oil sectors play a big part in Algeria's economy. When Algeria is considered against the backdrop of Nigeria, also a contributing country of oil and gas economies, it is evident that the latter is progressing better in terms of the diversification of its economy. Through this, Algeria has addressed the tendency for capital movement, while Nigeria has had issues with high inflation and currency problems. In the coming days, things are very bright for Algeria. Through its secure enclave, the wide network of roads and a reliable political system, it becomes a very desirable place for investments. The government's continuous efforts to diversify its economy and introduce structural changes will likely work towards advancing Algeria's prospects, therefore making it one of the strongest and most prominent economies on the continent. While many changes are happening in the economy of the continent, Algeria's mounting position displays this economic strength and Algeria's ability to solve regional challenges. Having a competent plan coupled with persistent attempts to diversify, Algeria is certainly on the right track to make Africa the top economic player. According to the IMF International Monetary Fund data, South Africa, Egypt, Algeria and Nigeria will continue to be the largest economies on the African continent until 2030. By the end of 2024, the fifth and sixth largest economies in Africa as of now are Ethiopia and Morocco, with GDPs of $205 billion and $152 billion respectively. Ethiopia's rise into the fifth largest economy in Africa in 2024. Ethiopia, a country whose population exceeds 126.5 million people, lies second in Africa only to Nigeria with its population of over 201 million people. This giant mass of youth has been the fuel for the economic expansion in the country, serving as a reliable source of labour for the key industries. The leading contributor to the Ethiopian economic increase is its GDP projections, which are expected to reach 7.2% during the fiscal year 2022 to 2023. This can be attributed to a range of circumstances, including the large public sector investments in the development of infrastructure, a focus on capital accumulation, and also to a less vulnerable agriculture sector that employs more than 70% of the population. Though the outbreak of COVID-19 contributed to the slowdown of Ethiopia's economic growth, the country was still able to demonstrate amazing resilience in industrial and service sectors, with growth rates returning to single digits. This ability has proven the significant response of the government to economic management as well. Nevertheless, Ethiopia's journey to becoming the fifth largest economy in Africa did not come without its cons. The nation has been combating economic disequilibrium, conflicts in different areas, and the repercussions of the COVID-19 crisis. Addressing these issues was a principal policy goal of the government, which it has done by introducing a comprehensive 10-year sustained growth, efficiencies, and an improved business climate plan. One important thing to note about Ethiopia's economic turnaround is that it's oriented towards the reduction of poverty and inequity. In the National Poverty Line Index, the poverty rates have been significantly reduced over the years. Starting from 2011, the share of the country's population living below the national poverty line dropped from 30% to 24% in 2016. Looking to the future, Ethiopia has a flourishing economic outlook. The country possesses a geopolitically convenient location, modern domestic infrastructure, as well as a favourable business climate. These factors contribute to solid economic growth. Morocco is the sixth largest economy in Africa. In 2024, it became apparent that its strategic geographical location was a determinant in its economic performance. Morocco benefits from the coexistence of the past and the present, ranging from traditional industries to modern developments. It is known for agriculture, tourism, and the production of phosphates, which are the basis of compounds used as fertilizers, and Morocco has the highest reserves. Tourism plays an increasingly significant role as many people admire and travel to Morocco's numerous beautiful cities and landscapes, which creates more jobs and adds wealth to the economy. The country's initiative is building on renewable energy such as solar and wind energy to substitute the use of fossil fuels and make energy use sustainable. The industrial sector is advancing in Morocco quickly, especially in car and aerospace production, and many multinational companies are recognizing this country for its favorable business environment. The Tangier Med Port is another very significant gig, responsible for making it a very significant Mediterranean shipping hub for Morocco. The Moroccan government's set of fiscal reforms to liberalize the economy and invest in human development programs has produced sustained economic growth and a conducive business ecosystem. Within these economies, varied investment and growth stimulation strategies have been developed as financial markets place high demands for their participation. Egypt, for example, has improved banking sector governance that, as a consequence, boosts investor confidence and leads to the attraction of foreign investment. South Africa boasts the most sophisticated and developed financial market in Africa. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange, JSE, ranks among the world's top 20 in market exchange and continues to attract both domestic and international investors. Nigerian banks and financial services are increasingly focusing on supporting sectors such as agriculture and technology startups, which are essential for the country's economic diversification plans. Algeria has recently implemented reforms that aim to create a more dynamic financial sector that supports various economic sectors beyond oil and gas. Last but not least, Morocco's financial sector is one of the most advanced in Africa. The Casablanca Stock Exchange, although smaller than Egypt's and South Africa's, is highly dynamic and plays a crucial role in financing the economy. Technology and innovation are critical drivers of economic growth and are increasingly important in these leading African economies. In summary, the largest economies in Africa, Egypt, South Africa, Nigeria, Algeria, and Morocco, are not only diverse in their economic compositions, but are also leaders in driving the continent's growth. Each country, with its unique challenges and strengths, contributes distinctly to the continent's overall economic stature. Their continued focus on diversification, coupled with investments in technology and infrastructure, positions them well to tackle future challenges and capitalize on opportunities. As these nations move forward, their strategic decisions will likely influence not only their economic trajectories, but also the broader African economic landscape. If you liked this video and want more informative content like this, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.